We are now streaming? Yes, we are now streaming.
Amazing.
Cool.
Welcome back
wonderful world of YouTube.
to Evatoria.
Oh, hail.
Which god are we hailing today?
Yes.
Me.
Fentanyl.
I don't know. Roll a die.
I am a god now.
No,
You
you're
are not, and I meant within the
Not.
Evatorian gods, guys.
Leo is a god now.
Leo
Leo
is
is not a god. He's a roguelike with a goat obsession.
I'm a cult leader.
Somebody needs to go put that into quotes. Oh gosh. Okay. So last time
Essentially described the leader of the cult.
last time on Evatoria, you guys did some stuff, and then you got letters, and then you decided to use the Nilome taxi service.
Did you almost call it taco service?
I did.
Alome opened up a restaurant.
Listen, I've been wanting tacos for like a week now. And then you met the people.
All the high
Who-
priests and priestesses and a
yep.
couple extras.
Yes. And the other it was revealed that Prismera has chosen 4 champions, one from each of the 4 Genasi cities, which makes sense because elements. And
Was the element of surprise.
What's the fifth element?
and then you found out who the champion of Nilo. No, that's Leo. The champion of
Surprise, Alome
Nefala.
didn't choose Leo.
The
Sorry.
champion of Nefala is a old friend. And you guys are all sitting there in the meeting. Does
Vel was
anybody
trying to be
say
book
or do
buddies.
anything?
I remember
yeah.
Vel was trying to be book buddies with Geshta's priest.
Yes. Vel has a new friend who gave him a book randomly. Is there any other recap you guys need?
The things and stuff referred to before describing going to the meeting was the party acquiring the perfect pour cream pitcher.
Yeah, that's
For our
not
YouTube
important.
listeners.
Of course not. That's not important.
Well,
that's just
that's for our dear listeners, so they at least know what's going on.
you guys have been just trying to do that for months. It's fine. In like real life months. It's fine.
Over a year.
Shh. Okay. So then, do you guys say or do anything, or just?
I know introductions were done around the table and then we wrapped up, so I don't know who was going to lead the discussion from that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say they kind of invited us. I don't know what to say.
No, I'm just wondering if anyone's gonna have any comments or any quick talk to any of the people sitting next to them, or.
No, but I did just remember, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but I remember something about the Leo sitting in Colet's lap or something. Was that a joke or is that legit?
Whoa, I think Leo was just sitting as close to Calais as he can get.
Okay. What I heard was probably a joke then. It's been a while. It's been a good while, and the campaign between this session and last was a little bit of a shakeup, so.
I think Flux was sitting next to Calais.
No,
Oh, well.
Calais told Flux that they'd be talking after the meeting and wouldn't let Flux argue about it.
Fox didn't argue. He's like, all right, cool.
I thought somebody sat next to Calais because that's why Leo did it.
I thought Leo did.
Well, he is now then. But he's kind of just sitting there awkwardly because he feels like he's the odd man out.
Well, he's gonna have a rooster in his lap if he didn't have something else there before, so.
Yet another animal. Oh my gosh, how does Calais react to Leo's farm?
He hasn't seen the farm. I
They
thought
were
the pets were
followed.
generally left back with Mariella.
Were they left with Mariella this
I don't
time?
remember.
Or
Wait, did we didn't leave Mariella outside with the tiger lilies? Everybody came in except for the tiger lilies.
yeah,
So yes, there is a zoo
yeah. There's a zoo.
along
She's
with the
probably
animals.
like standing a bit back though, like not at the table.
Oh, she's probably standing by hearth.
Hell yeah. That's funny to me. Hearth is like sat back.
All right. Yep, it's canon. Mariella is sitting by hearth. Okay, so I need to roll. Somebody roll me a d9.
What?
You heard me.
Yeah. Let me
Okay,
just
one-
reach into my
one more.
bag.
You can do that on the server.
5.
Can you? Oh, I guess
Yeah.
you can.
Any sided, yeah.
I rolled it for you. It's 5.
Okay. Thank you. So,
Who's number 5 on the god list?
I don't know. You're telling me you don't have the document up?
Okay, fine. I'll go pull it up. Hold on.
I keep forgetting there's a document.
2.
Let,
Three,
let me
four,
also point out
5.
that's
Nafala.
the middle of the road. It's Nafala. So,
That means Calais has to speak up.
no.
I say that like I know what would even be said.
So the English happens and I speak. As you guys are all sitting there and waiting, and the silence, as if they didn't quite expect you guys originally to come quite so fast.
It's okay, we didn't either.
Nefala's high priestess stands up. First off, we're going to start this saying we're not going to argue and fight. I know some of us disagree with some of the other ones about various things. We are here together to speak as the leaders, and she puts her hands towards the champions and the high priests and priestesses of the gods. Now, we understand there are some big things happening, and some of us have reached out to some of you, but not all of us, and that is what today is partially going to be remedying. So, I suggest, first off, do any of you who are now the heads of the temples, really, of each of the gods, have any questions on what you're doing?
After a moment, Kat speaks up very tentatively. To be honest, I'm not sure any of us actually know what we're doing.
a long stoic nod from Flex with that one.
Briarn gives Flux a look.
He pointedly is not looking at her.
Do any of you know why you were chosen or what's coming that the gods have all collectively called up champions?
Well, if you would like to tell us what's coming, we would appreciate the advice. I don't know if I'm here. I'm assuming I've teleported in magically.
Yes.
Sorry for
Okay.
missing the last session.
Okay. So, yes, you all got letters. Sorry, we forgot you weren't here last session. All of you guys got letters, just labeled to the champion of whatever deity. Come as as soon as you can. Blah blah blah. Leo was like, "Hey, I know where we're going. I'm gonna have us go visit Nalome, who can send us there, because that's how I got there last time." And so you guys jumped into Nalome's cell, and then he sent you guys on the way. And so you guys ended up on a island that has a tall red and white lighthouse where the red of it is actually looking like snake scales. And if you look in like the NPCs, if you scroll up a little bit, there's the images of the various. Kate is the one with the snake. She is Nalome's. There's the high priests of each one. The Ice Genasi there is one of Prismira's champions. Tart, it was found out that he is the high priest of silence, which is funny. Trey is there. Calais is there. He is the there's too many words. My brain is not braining. He's the champion of
Nafala.
Yep. And then along with Briarn, who is the high priestess of Marith, there is a half orc who is introduced as Hearth.
Fascinating. All right, but yes, please continue.
One thing, anybody who has high enough perception, Ian, I need to know, because Hearth doesn't have to breathe. Does Hearth breathe?
No.
So anyone with high enough perception would notice the half orc does not breathe.
What do you classify as high enough perception?
Is Cat aware of everybody? Calais probably wouldn't notice because it's a lot of people, but Cat might.
Yeah, Cat's passive is 23.
Cat definitely would.
Just let me get my other two open. I forgot that I needed 3 character sheets open.
Does Val, even though it's only an 18, but they're medical.
Yes. Well, actually get a roll from Vel just because there's a lot of people and he's distracted with his brand new book.
An 18.
Okay, yes. The dice gods have determined yes, Vel does notice.
I'm not gonna. I don't think this is metagaming or anything, but I'm just gonna point out that he was standing next to Briarn. So I mean,
He is. Yeah. I'd say, yeah. So at like 18 and higher. So I was right. Calais doesn't notice. Is definitely noticing it. 17 and lower. You could roll to see if you noticed. If you'd like to say you were kind of paying attention.
Roll for Calais just because he is a plague forged, so he does at least have some sort of medical eye. But there's also a lot of people, so let's see. Nope, that was a 10. He's just excited to see familiar people.
Alright. Alright, so Sasha says about you'd like to know if they know?
Well, it seemed like they knew more about what was coming than we do. So if there's anything they know about what's coming that we don't, that would be great.
Riarn, she's the one with the green hair, says death, destruction, you know, the usual.
Anything more specific? Any way of circumventing it? I assume the death and destruction is not the point. Or is the death and destruction inevitable?
Oh, excuse me. I'm trying not to cough my lung out here for a minute. Hang on.
Don't die.
The High Priestess of Kragma looks to you and says, death is always coming.
Oh, that was hopeful. Thank you very much. I figure I'll just keep my mouth shut from now on. It'll only get more ominous.
We have stories and ideas. Something is coming. Or something is already here.
The Flux will speak up and say the most that we can glean is the prophecy that we've been receiving mentions something about a shade, and we've encountered shadow people in our travels. It's about the most I can give you.
The High Priest of Gashta says, do you have this prophecy? May I see it?
I look at Panama.
Well, just to make sure, if I do give it to you, that it's not going to cause any unnecessary issues, such like kicking off the apocalypse.
I believe it's already, as you say, kicked off.
I mean, I don't see burning skies or anything like that yet, though.
Correct, but most of the things in the prophecy lines have already happened. So, if you would kindly, Mr. Panama. As a show of good faith,
boy.
I close my eyes.
Well, here goes nothing. And Panama will give it only to the one who's asking.
All right. I love
A
that.
piece of
That
paper
amuses me.
with it written down.
He reads it and hands it back to you. Well, the champions are all here now. Quite disturbing. So what do you make of it? He asks Panama.
Well, I don't know what to make of it just yet. Still tossing ideas back and forth in my mind about it.
After a moment of everyone seeming to take that in and to think, the other high priests and priestesses, except for Tart, I cannot speak for Tart. When I say the others, I am speaking all but Tart, because I do not control him. They all
Oh, he
look
does.
slightly. His wife might. Slightly annoyed at being kept out of the know, but it seems like they all kind of are used to him keeping information from them and hoarding the information.
Tart doesn't look annoyed.
Bart is busy planning ships. Take that how you want.
Yeah, I would imagine Panama would probably notice that. And we'll simply say, "Listen, I'm just trying to make sure nothing unnecessary happened by everyone knowing this."
Don't feel bad. He doesn't tell us either. That was Leo.
He speaks up again. We know something is happening. The signs are all there for the hunt coming again, but we don't. It's from the research we've been able to find, it's never done anything apocalyptic.
When they mention the hunt, Leo looks to Vel.
Does Vel do anything?
No.
Cat will speak up after a moment. You say not apocalyptic. But for who? How much does it actually affect?
How much does the hunt affect?
Yeah.
From the research we've been able to gather, it doesn't seem. There are few who ever seem to permanently disappear from it. Misplaced, sometimes. Sometimes returned where they should be. But very few seem to go missing. We are planning on trying to send some sort of emissary to the Feywild to see if they can give us any information, but getting some straight information from any of them is not the easiest on the best of times.
For the people that are not permanently missing, what kind of aftermath is left behind? What kind of trauma, damage? What happens? All I know is stories and rumors, and I don't have any truth. I've just been told to try and find out the details and truth behind it, and being told it's might not be as bad as you think, but I don't know anything.
He reaches up and sort of fixes his glasses and looks at Kat. What sort of trauma comes from adventuring?
Anything.
Leo audibly laughs at that.
Cat gives Leo a briefly sharp look and then looks back to the priest.
That sometimes harms those who get caught up in the hunt and leave it. let's just say they have a strong tendency to come back around when it comes back. Some would say unhealthy.
And I'm going to guess a lot of the participants are initially unwilling or taken without being asked. At least, that's what I've heard.
Mostly correct.
I'm not here to debate the merits of the Feywild hunt. In fact, if you would like to, we can set up a time to do that. It would be most enjoyable.
Given that we're apparently supposed to figure out what we're doing and the hunt seems to be inevitably wrapped into it, I think we're already in the middle of needing information, aren't we? A hunt about this apocalypse nobody knows anything about other than a prophecy that isn't even in order.
Flex will cut in and just try to I don't know, come up with some type of conclusion. Just say, well, let's go talk to them then. We're not that far from a moon gate.
Are you offering your team to go and speak to the Feywild?
I can't make that decision for everyone, but I'm in.
What's the worst that can happen?
Don't make me answer that.
You're more than welcome to.
No.
Prismira's high priestess does speak up for a moment. Maybe the order of the prophecy, as you say, it's not in order. Maybe the order doesn't matter.
Then what's the point of a prophecy? If it's just scrambled statements on a page and the order doesn't matter, why is it even around?
Or perhaps each line is just an individual event that happens. And when all of them happen is when bad things happen.
Or perhaps the order that we do them in changes the prophecy itself, much like time.
So it's
The outcome is unwritten, only the story to the outcome.
Well, then what's left?
who knows?
I point at Panama.
Like I said, who knows?
When I just gave the prophecy too.
I hold up another finger.
Is as much as I'm enjoying keeping this between us, is there a reason we're not speaking the prophecy out loud?
He likes to keep information to himself.
Well, that is true, but also, what is it? The weird things happen when the lines are spoken.
Not to mention, we don't know what will happen if someone in this party hears the prophecy.
I will gladly
Or no,
step outside.
at least.
If that's your only concern, Flex is going to get up and start heading towards the door, and he's going to look at Nolome's priestess and say, "That door's safe."
He seems to think for a moment. Yes. Probably.
Up to passive 18 on that insight there.
She's pretty sure that's a safe door.
All right. I'm gonna trust it, and I'll go step outside.
Panama, do you say the prophecy out loud?
I will not be held responsible for anything that happens.
Sure, this will hold up
Not
in
if you.
fine court.
To be held responsible for anything that happens.
You are not responsible for whatever happens by you saying it out loud.
We shall see. Where should this be put?
Player notes.
Player notes?
Players. Now let's see if it actually did it correctly. Oh, we're about to find out. Yeah, looks like it did.
All right, so it is posted into the player notes. Does anyone want to read it out loud?
I volunteer Sasha.
I'm. Does Leo say that?
Leo says that, yeah.
Alright. Sasha sighs and picks it up.
So if you
Should I
look,
read
the stuff
player
that
notes?
says, like, yeah, it's in player notes. But if it's like you see the stars and then it says like Keeper, Mr. Harp, those are notes about where he got them from. You only have to read the beginning before the stars.
Cool. Alright. The great evil will spread like a shade over the land, and then the beacon will be lit, and the champions will rise. 9 and 3 more. The bird will take flight after death has stalked the land. A great sacrifice will be made. The powers will shift and night will fall. Then the stars will cry for the battle to be won. Does the world explode?
No.
Yay!
This world doesn't.
Does anyone get Flux back inside?
Flux!
Like, gets up, goes over, opens the door, but doesn't step out into the hall and has a look around to see if Flux is there.
Is Flux there?
Yeah, Flex is there.
Play doesn't just say his name. He outright reaches out, takes hold of Flux's hand, wrist, arm, whatever's reasonable, and just gives a little tug. It's like, it's safe now.
All right, the Flex will come back in.
Clay goes back to his seat, looking pleased with himself.
Oh. Obviously, it seems like some of those lines make sense. Do you still feel... Do you still agree to go speak to the Fae?
Again, I can't speak for the group, but I will if the others agree.
I guess.
Weren't we heading there anyway?
Do we come back here afterwards?
Yes, and any who do not wish to go to the Feywild are free to stay here if they'd like.
Cat speaks up. I'm staying here. For a few reasons.
Okay, DC, I'm going to tell you I don't know how long they're going to be in the Feywild, just so you
That's
are
okay.
aware.
That gives me a chance to take notes, and it's in Cat's personality to not go, even if it leaves me just taking notes, which is fine. I am happy to keep him in character and take notes for everybody else.
I will accept this as a fellow player if Mr. Clay comes. I'm speaking out of character.
I wasn't expecting that.
The Uno reverse card. You're not going to sit out on this one.
Clay kind of blinks a few times and then looks awkwardly around the table. Am I allowed to? I don't even know much about what I would be doing, but I can go if people want me to.
Well, you would be helping Mr. Clay. Of course you can
If
go.
we get into a fight, though. Or
Doesn't Clay carry swords with him?
There is a big frick-off glaive, actually.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He's a cinnamon roll, but he can totally kill things.
Calais has levels. Calais can fight.
Yeah, but I
People
don't want
keep
to
forgetting
go
that this boy started as a blood hunter.
He always got so sad.
But it'll be fine. So, Cat says he's staying. Calais says he's going. Flux is going. Panama's going. Lucky, are you going?
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun, he says.
Is Leo going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is Sasha going?
You know, on what Lucky said, sounds fun.
Here's the big question. Is Vel going?
You know, I'm just getting used to Evatoria. I don't know if like a culture shock would be good.
Vel, you're coming.
Really, you're the one who suggested this in the first place.
Literally.
Alright. So. Kate says, wait here, and she leaves the room. Does anyone say anything in the awkward silence?
Traven does.
What does Traven say?
So when she leaves the room, Traven kind of looks over the crew that's going to be going to the Feywild. As I'm sure you've likely been warned, but I feel inclined to mention, don't use your real names while you're in there. It's just safer that way, trust me. Real names have a lot of weight in the Feywild.
Had the same principle coming here, actually.
Perhaps. Less magical, but a very fair observation and commitment. I'm going to guess that you were familiar with the Feywild. I won't ask details, but I have a guess. And he offers a smile.
I kind of lower my head and point over at Panama. I think he's got more familiarity than I do.
Didn't ask about who was more familiar. I was just stating that it seemed you may be familiar. It's not so much a matter of who's most familiar. It's more just that you are. There's no competition.
Val tries to slump away.
There's no shame in the familiarity either. Just so you know. Takes all kinds to make this world work. Everybody's different. That's how the cogs fit. Well, I have been spending a lot of time at home.
Flux is staring at Tart.
He winks at him.
Captain Tart,
Hello?
you're a cleric.
Some would call me that.
Whoever is sitting, whatever high priest or priestess is sitting closest to Tart smacks him lightly.
What? Some call me cleric. Some call me handsome.
Besides your wife who calls you handsome.
You called me handsome.
No.
Yes. Don't lie. You can't lie in a room like this. We all agreed no lying. Except when it benefits me.
I don't think that's how this works.
I think it's how it works.
So, after a few more minutes, does any other conversation happen? So, she comes back in with something roughly that big. About 5 inches. It looks like a large scale. I can only hand this to one of you. Well, technically. But this will allow you to return to this. You and 8 other willing people of your choice to return to this plane to here once. I can give it to you in case something happens. Who is your most trusted person going in this group for me to give this to?
Oh, what a good question. Not Leo.
Leo
Sasha.
points to Sasha.
Sasha.
Sasha points to anyone else.
Leo stands in front of where Sasha's pointing.
Sasha
Three moves,
moves
Leo.
to anyone else. Thank you. Fine, I take it.
Okay. So you can just write in like your notes on your character sheet that you have Kate's scale. Cait apostrophe S scale.
A dimensional parachute, if you would.
Wait, so 8-dimensional parachutes?
No.
A is in singular.
Gotcha.
It's
Misheard
a
that.
safety blanket. Just call it a magical safety blanket.
Our ripcord.
I just say it as dimensional parachute.
Works for me. Alright.
That's how I remember it.
So how are you getting to the moon gate?
Nalom's taxi service again? He might get mad at me.
No. He won't get mad at you. He'll be fine.
If he says anything, we can just bribe him with tea.
Am I allowed to pull my book out in this room?
No. And you don't want to do that anyway. You have your cats outside.
Oh, true. Although, what if I did pull out the book? You think we'd be teleported like last time?
No. We've put up protections. They can't see in, and we can't communicate out with them.
Oh, I didn't know I was talking in character, but sure.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
That moment when Ian and Leo are just one and the same, other
That's-
than a few sketchy behaviors.
No, that was all canon. Who was I talking to? I imagine Nolome's priestess, I hope.
Yeah. Yes, you were talking to Kate.
I'm pretty sure we're in a room full of godly people. Everything that's said is in character.
Facts. I'm speaking
Especially
for Leo,
that.
Art, and Hearth right now. Hearth is like sticking to Brienne. Or how do you pronounce her name?
Briarn.
Briarn. He's
Is
standing
he?
behind her.
Yes, he's standing behind her next to Mariella, who keeps trying to start conversations with him.
Hearth is staring at Flux.
I think finally you would have burned a hole through the side of his head, and he'll turn and look at Hearth.
Hearth doesn't say anything. He just stares at him.
That we just stoically stare at each other for a minute.
Yeah, until oh fuck, I still can't pronounce her name. Briarn, until she tells him to stop or notices.
I think after 2 minutes and 37 seconds, Flux gives you like a 2-degree nod.
He gives one back.
Specific time.
What was that, Panama?
I said that's an oddly specific time limit.
That is.
Incredibly. After that, Flux will look away.
He's still staring at you.
That's fine. That's fine. We've said what needed to be said.
All right. So then, Belle, Sasha, Flux, Leo, Lockie, Calais, and Panama head out.
I think Blodwin would go too. But like, obviously,
We'll ask Pan when she's able to find that out. We can let her know post game and ask if she'd be in on it or not.
Yep, we can take a chit chat time. You guys can either talk in or out of character. We're taking a moment because Vel needs to come back.
Tart's gonna go up to Panama and be like, "Why are you so secretive?"
Because this was regarding the apocalypse, and some things about the apocalypse would kick off the apocalypse.
Right. Do you have a wife or a husband? You in a relationship?
Do you have warrants?
I could get one.
Can Craven hear this?
Yes.
Craven gets up from where he's sitting, moves over, and outright pulls Tart back a little bit. Says, it looks at Panama. I am so sorry about this. He's unique, lovable, but doesn't exactly understand a few social barriers. I'm sure your relationship status and personal life are not something you want to have intruded on by an overly talkative priest of silence.
Ironic, isn't it?
First off, that's a very tactful way of saying he's nosy. Second, that is incredibly ironic.
The irony and tactfulness is not lost. I am getting used to political families, so I've had some practice.
Does Panama have any like noticeable like a ring or something?
Got gloves on.
Got gloves on. Tart is like very obviously checking him out. He probably even does a little walk around.
Stare any longer, it's going to cost you.
Okay, I pull out. No, I don't think Izzy would let me give you money.
Under
Traven is
50
just-
gold.
Traven is just staring at this like, your wife will kill you if she finds out you paid another man to let you stare at him.
Shame. I ain't that cheap.
I'll come back to you.
And I apologize if he does. And
I'm moving over to
returns
Sasha
to
now.
his seat.
My sibling!
I think Sasha just internally died.
I think my sibling's dead. Tart like waves his hand in front of Sasha's face. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hi. You were staring really hard into space.
Sorry, got distracted. By which I mean the player got mildly distracted because I needed dinner. But yes, hi, I'm back.
What are you thinking about? Let me guess. You're thinking about your love.
I'm
I can
thinking
tell
about a
you're-
beautiful home.
How long have you been together?
What? Oh,
You and your partner.
oh, well, there was a gap in the middle. But if you count back, God, I forget. 4 years?
4 years? When's the wedding? Are you going to invite
Oh,
me?
it's a bit. Well, sure, I could invite you. I'd have to. I mean, we haven't planned anything. It would be a. Oh,
I will help you plan.
I haven't
I
even
can get
asked
you a
yet.
beautiful
Do you think
ring.
she'd say yes?
Yeah, look at you. Why wouldn't she say yes?
I mean, do you think it's time?
I think it's time. You guys could die, like, not that I'm saying you will die, but like you could die. And what's a better
Well,
time?
it's always true, isn't it?
Yeah, this God business, it's, crazy. I say as soon as you leave this place, you go straight to her and you propose.
Oh, well, I don't have a ring or anything, and I.
Oh, you don't need to. It's fine.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I will do that. That's correct. Yeah,
I
it is
believe
time, isn't it?
it is time. And you said there was a gap, whatever was happening, now's a perfect time. Declare your love.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess I will.
He pats her on the back and then he walks off.
What just happened?
Kalei just looks at Sasha for a moment and is like, I don't know. But it feels like you gave him your personal life without even knowing it.
I think I did. Well, I guess I'm getting married. Maybe?
It might
So it
be a
looks
good
like after
idea-
North Bay, you guys are going to Iwakun.
I have no idea.
That's the new plan. That's what the DM thinks.
Oh, this is so funny. I just forced Sasha to propose to her girlfriend.
Good thing she's not here, or it would be. There's a room full of clerics, they'd be married already.
Yeah.
I was gonna say cast ceremony over like 17 times.
Oh my god.
9 different voices all saying, we have gathered here today.
Yeah, we just been like echoes.
We unexpectedly gathered here today for the joining of.
How many ceremony spells does it take to make a consecration spell?
So, what did Val want to ask?
So if like it's a group of people, like before we're leaving, basically to get everyone's opinion, including the priest, is like, so what's the intentions of the emissary? I suppose so. We have a goal.
Find out more about the hunt. See if we can find a way to make it so it's not happening, but if there's good things, we can still have the good things happen. We don't want people. We don't want unwilling participants.
Or magically influenced. Sorry, that was Cat.
I suppose it may be something that's possible, but I suppose we'll see. I suppose my only concern is, compared to the end of the world, if people don't rise up of their own volition, better to have people who don't.
I think at this point, if it's the end of the world we're trying to stop, a lot of people might fight back.
Yeah,
I don't think recruitment will be an issue.
Yeah, I'm not here to wax morally about something we don't even know we're fighting. So how about we go to them and ask what the hell it is that's going on? Because I'm sure they have more answers than we do.
As long as they're willing to share, they aren't bound by certain things that seem to have possibly happened here.
That's all Val had, so they slump away again.
Is there any more chit chat, or do you guys head out? Mariella offers to keep any of Leo's animals there that Leo doesn't want to bring with.
He'll leave everybody but Maximus.
Okay.
Out of character question,
Yes.
that scale was said to bring the holder and 8 other willing people back. Are pets included in that, especially since Maximus has a character sheet now?
Maximus would count as not. It would just be counting as Leo.
Okay. I just wanted to ask first.
You have to pick Leo or Maximus. You can't take both. Leo can
We know
stay.
he'd save Max.
Leo can stay in the Feywild forever.
Don't tempt me.
See, this is why specifically Maximus doesn't count because the DM knows that Leo would sacrifice himself for Maximus.
Right. The thing is Leo knows that the hunt's coming, so he can just hitch a ride then.
That's
I
true.
guess you guys could just leave Vel then.
I was gonna say your family just bring you back. We'll just leave a note and be like, "Hey, bring him back."
Little return to sender sticker on his forehead.
Yeah, not an IOU. You owe us 1 Vel on Midwinter.
So no, the pets and animals still would count. Like on the character sheet under extras, you can put like mounts and stuff. Even though he does have his own character sheet, he would fit under that extras, so he would still count as an extension of Leo.
Wait, which section do you put that in?
So if you have mounts and stuff, if you look in your character sheet, at least on the browser, I don't know how to find it on the app or the phone. The action spells inventory, blah blah blah. If you click on extras and then manage extras, you can
Okay, and you add
a pet.
notes. Oh, okay.
Oh my god, I didn't know about this.
I don't know if any of Cat's pets would be on that list.
No.
A mouse isn't on this list.
It would be under rat technically. You just have a regular mouse.
Yeah, just put rat. If you type in rat, there's a regular rat in there.
I don't need to add Maximus. He has his own sheet. I can add everybody
Gotcha.
else though.
I'm gonna have to add mine into the notes section. I'll put his in allies.
But yeah, that's how you do that. So, all right. So you guys head out. Does anyone ask her how to get out of the thing, or do you guys just go wandering?
I assume she's gonna lead us out of her Tower of Nightmares, but
Does anyone ask her? She does not seem to be like. She's talking to somebody.
Leo goes up to her. Excuse me.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Can you help us leave?
Do you need help to leave? You haven't figured it out yet?
I only know the way to the bathroom.
Okay. That's because you were pretty stinky.
Oh my gosh.
So she moves to lead you guys out.
Play
And the
goes
group-
first if nobody else does.
yeah, I assume we're all following.
On the line.
The leader.
Blade does tell Cade to stay with Mariella, just to be safe.
Yay!
Cade looks a little ruffled about having to stay behind, but he relents and contents himself to being as quietly demanding for attention as he can.
Luna would go over and immediately give Cade all of her attention.
Cade swaps focuses. Luna's the person to bother, and he is now basking in her attention.
Alright. So you guys are led outside. The tiger lilies are chilling. I'm assuming Leo opens the book.
Oh, we.
Before we do that, can I have a moment, please? And Val's gonna try to walk off, not far, because they want to send a message with that stone.
Okay.
I don't know if it has to be verbal, but if it does, people might hear him. Basically, all he's saying is, apparently, Moongate, probably 10 minutes, Escada.
The sleeper cell. Everybody attack.
Okay. So he does that.
Oh, wait, can we hear that?
I don't know how sending. It's a sending stone, right?
Yeah, you gotta talk into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm having it close. I'm not speaking super out loud, but if people have high perceptional hearing, they might hear it.
He's got his mouth over the receiver.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to have a really subtle phone
His mouth.
conversation.
Yeah.
10 minutes, Moongate.
Roger, good butter.
This is the captain speaking.
Gasp. Vel had ascending stone to the Feywild this whole time? Gasp?
Does anything surprise you at this point with Belle?
No. And then not with anything.
Not arguing.
It's not just Vel. It's
Sorry.
everything.
Okay.
Sasha's a werebore. Gasp.
That would actually be badass if it wasn't, very terrifying and sketchy.
If Sasha was like some type of were creature, that'd be awesome.
It would be.
As long as didn't play by like the old rules where it's like, oh, your alignment shifts. In which case, werebear. Then at least
No.
she stays good.
In Evatoria, the lycanthropy is not alignment shifting. If a person is evil, they are evil. There are some strains of the lycanthropy where it does like affect you at certain times or you lose control, but it's not automatically you're evil just because you're a werewolf or whatever.
Is it like a were rat like has a compulsion towards cheese at all times?
Or thieving.
Thieving.
Immediately looks at Leo.
All right. We need a lycanthropy arc where I'll contract a different variant.
I don't think you guys need that on top of everything else.
It's fine.
Maybe one of you, if you ask nicely.
Please?
Can Calais catch it?
No.
No, not Calais. He might be a walking blood bank, but no. I'm not talking for Calais.
I think Cat would be immune to it if I'm being honest.
I have no idea. He already transforms into animals. I don't know what the difference would be.
I was gonna say.
Yes, it technically wouldn't make that much of a difference.
Aren't you also like immune to poison?
I don't know. Let me check.
Well, I guess it would be.
Nope.
I don't know what it is. It's a curse, right?
Nope.
Not a disease. I don't know.
Yeah.
Moving on. We're not gonna.
No,
I'm not-
that's the difference whether they're the cursed ones or the disease ones, whether they're good or not.
I see.
Okay, so Leo opens the book. Do you guys take the tiger lilies with you then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I didn't know because you're not taking them. They won't go into the Feywild with you. They will refuse.
That's fine. When we get to the Moongate, we can say, "Hey, go back to your dad."
Are you finally gonna return them?
Yeah, probably.
We don't need them. We still need to travel, don't we?
Yeah, you still
yeah,
have to
but-
go.
It'll be fine. We'll figure out a way.
Just tell them to be nice
Yeah.
and stay there for the time being. Won't take us too long. Hopefully.
Be fine. You can send them home to me. We'll just mail us a camel.
Was that
I don't
in
think that's how that
character?
works.
No, Flex wouldn't assume
Okay.
that. I'm just saying this.
I had to ask if that was in character, because if it was, Calais would have made a comment.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So I need to know definitive right now. Do you take the tiger lilies?
Yes.
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 Poof, you're in Nalome's place. That wasn't very long.
They kind of just sent us on a task.
Aren't you already on a task or 3?
Yes, this is our 7th one.
I was just about to concur. 7.
He winks at Vel. So, Flux, are you gonna come over here and say hello?
We will speak on the first day of spring.
You're still afraid. Where are you going this time? Back where you came?
Yes, we need our wagon.
He's waiting for Leo to answer.
Oh yeah, we need to. What he said.
Flex nods.
He winks at Vel again and sends you guys back to your wagon.
Grumble, grumble, grumble from the cleric.
Do I need to bring you back for a date or something? What was happening?
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Then you guys spend a little travel time heading to the Moon Gate.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you betcha.
I
Yeah, bud.
feel offended. That's I don't know.
Ridle up them tiger lilies. Let's get on it.
See, my brain jumped to like two different things: Canadian redneck and like red green show. So I wasn't thinking Wisconsin.
Oh god. You've just brought back horrible memories of my childhood.
I'm sorry. I actually liked the red green show.
I'm traumatized.
Sorry.
No. Fine.
Right.
Would when we got brought back to the wagon, I have to wait a day, so I feel like a cat. But I'd be like, never mind, we're traveling on foot.
Oh yeah, there's a whole procession waiting at the Moon Gate. Like there's a guy standing out front of the Moon Gate with like the airport card, like Vel. He's like, oh, he said he was gonna be here in like 10 minutes.
So you guys travel to the Moon Gate.
Yeah.
When you get closer to the Moon Gate, you'll notice things are strange. The not only are the grass and other things strange colors, slightly off, but you'll notice a lack of animals and other things as you approach. After not very long, you are stopped by two people. A sort of deer-looking girl who is beside a elven man with long red hair who seems to have these purple crystals spreading from his eyes. I've posted the images for you guys to see. I reposted the one. What are you doing here? Says the fawn deer looking girl.
We have an appointment to keep.
An appointment with who?
Let's look at Bell.
Val will simply like open his cloak and pull down his hood, but not say anything.
Oh my god, Vel's getting naked.
Do they do anything at that?
They look annoyed. Well, the one does. The one who has the crystal for eyes says, "We cannot stop you from going through it. Who are your companions?"
Emissaries of the divine from this world.
I did not catch that, Panama.
Yeah, can you just get like a little bit closer to your mic?
Emissaries from the divine of this world.
It's a dangerous trek to try to go through the moon gates. I would recommend all of you turn back, but we will not stop you. But if anything happens, we cannot cure you either.
Cure us.
He points to his eyes.
Yeah, about that. So at that, was it at mentioning that this is like some type of contractable something, Flex will cast a detect disease and poison.
It is a disease of some sort he has not seen.
May I ask?
Those who spend enough time near the gates, or with the gates, protecting the gates.
And what is this?
I don't know.
I look over to Flex looks over to the fawn looking one and says, "Is this contagious?"
From what we gather, it's something to do with the Fey wild and being so close to it.
Right. I'm asking if it's person to person.
Oh no, I can, like, if he would leave here, it wouldn't get any worse, and he couldn't spread it to no one.
Flex is gonna turn back to the party and is like non-verbally asking permission.
Yeah, I mean, Panama's looking at Vel like. So, are we supposed to walk through to meet him, or is he walking out?
I suspect that uh,
the priest wanted us to speak with all courts and not just mine. So I assume we have to go through.
Courts have nothing to do with it. It's the Lord of the Hunt that needs to be spoken to, since he's leading it.
I know it's slightly uncommon for Evatorian, but most of the courts work together. So one court can't do anything in solo power. We rotate based on who has the majority, but we still need consensus from the others.
I mean, Sasha nods her consent.
I agree. I think we need as much answers as possible, not just from the.
We've
master.
come this far.
Yeah, might as well. Though I turn back to the crystal guy. Can I take a look, just out of curiosity?
What would you like to look at? The eyes?
Well,
Underneath the skin?
I am a cleric.
I've had clerics come.
I'm not promising a cure. I just want to take a note.
He walks up so he is almost like chest to chest with Flux. Is this close enough?
Can I make a medicine check?
Sure, roll it.
23.
With the 23, it seems as if he's turning to crystal. He doesn't, his eyes, though he can still see out of them, they're no longer even like moist. The way, sorry, that eyes are. He doesn't actually have the need to like blink to keep them like that either. It's more just to like remove any dust from the crystals. And it does seem, looking at the scars, that it's starting to split under his skin as well. I'm trying to keep it not very medical for everybody.
No, that's fine. So can Flux gather this like a petrification process? Does he feel like this person's either gonna like become crystal or become immobile from it?
Something like that, yeah.
That was A or B.
That's
The answer was C.
yeah.
C. All right, sure. Flux would just say, "Thank you. Don't mean to intrude."
All right. Well, at least is the person you've been contacting waiting on the other side for us?
Would Vel have got confirmation, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. They should be there, but again, busy time of the year.
It is a good idea we've not brought the other person who was with you. I don't think he'd handle this very well. Just a feeling.
Panama's gonna.
Your all experiences can help open his mind to it.
I don't think being turned to crystal will open someone's mind.
It's
Just our eyes.
mostly from long-term exposure, but
Panama's gonna pat the side of his book as he turns around to look at the moon gate. Any help you can give me?
Okay, so Panama is asking his book for help.
More specifically, the person on the other side of the book, but yes.
That's what I gathered.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, hey, is there any way we could like a dome around us when we walk through this?
So, from the book comes Sorry, the kiddo just gave me a Tic Tac, so I stuck it in my mouth without thinking that I needed to talk.
I mean, that's what Tic Tacs are for.
So, from Panama's book comes a slight glow, and then it seems to create like a 15-foot, kind of like tiny hut around Panama.
So, Val's been interested in
Thank
the
you very
fayness
much.
of Panama. The magic that comes from here isn't Panama, so do I get a vibe from this magic?
It's Fey.
Anything other than that if I roll an Arcana on it?
Sure, roll an Arcana.
Only an 11. I won't flash a genius that it's too low.
I recommend staying close by, everyone.
He happily moves within the 15 radius. So he's watching to make sure everyone else gets in there and is fully in there. And if it looks like somebody isn't, he will shuffle people to make sure that they're safely inside.
Oh, hang on. I have to go get. I have the moon gate. I have to go get it. Hang on.
I thought it was another Tic Tac.
No. I just have to go get the moon gate. Hang on. I got excited. I was excited for the crystal. Like, I've been waiting on that for ages, but I forgot to go grab the moon gate picture. Hang on. I don't know where to stick it. I guess locations, eh?
Probably.
Really good if I remembered where that. Oh, that's in lore. Post for anybody? Because it just like disappeared when I sent it.
No, it's there.
It's there?
Answer.
1%. Okay. So apparently it posted twice now. Okay, there we go.
Woo! Spooky.
You walk in.
As long as everyone is within the sphere.
Yep.
Let's get it.
So as you walk through the moon gate, it feels like walking through like a thick jello before you find yourself on the other side in what seems to be springtime. It's warm and there's some birds. It's not that heat of summer though. It's you can see from the grass and the various strange looking plants and creatures that it's very early in the bloom. And you see people waiting for you.
I'm going to presume that Val was kind of walking in front this time, and as soon as he walks through, he's just going to kind of do a low bow and then just.
Clay's not sure what to do, so he kind of just mimics what Vel did, because if Vel's bowing, maybe he's supposed to as well.
Are we all bowing?
Are you?
No. Not
Nah.
really.
Nah.
Sasha will just kind of stand at attention.
Sorry, hang on. Just grabbing some images of people. There'll be two notable people. I have to find where's the NPCs. Obviously there's representatives from each of the courts waiting. However, there are just a few people I'm posting, mostly for Vel's sake. Are but welcome to the Feywild.
Woo! Spooky.
I'm putting the ones separately, so you know this is the one who seems to be the one at the center, the one speaking to you. Welcome home.
Thank you. Val is just kind of stunned in this moment.
Who is the leader?
I think it's a bit more egalitarian than that.
Who speaks for you?
You know, we really need to decide this. People keep asking this, and we never have a good answer.
I don't mind talking to people, but they tend to get very defensive when I speak to them.
That's because you're a cop.
They just want to speak to one of us.
Val bows lower in embarrassment.
Vel will speak for us then.
I don't believe that I have the capabilities of speaking for all of Evatoria. I think you all are better suited for such things.
I believe it shouldn't just fall on one of us, considering our current position.
Are we speaking here at the gate, or are you coming farther in?
Yeah, considering the radiation, we should probably move a little closer.
The group turns and starts to walk. Do you guys follow?
Yeah, we'll follow.
So as they walk, the one who's sitting in the tree in the picture does end up walking next to Val. They don't say anything, they just walk. If you look into the maps and locations and you scroll up to the Brain Hurt tribute picture with the squares, eventually you are led into a sort of facade city like that.
Fine trippy place.
Val had probably picked up pace to go stand and walk with his brother also.
Yes, the third picture would be the brother. Does anybody say anything while you walk?
He probably can't help himself and does murmur it just to the air. This place is incredible.
See, that's the secret. That's why Calais really has Cade, so when he's talking to himself, he looks like he's talking to Cade.
Probably. Or at the very least, so he has somebody who answers him.
So quietly, with Calais murmuring excitement, you guys are led to a building, and inside is a table with enough chairs for everybody to sit at.
In the bubble.
Like a big round table?
Yes, a big round table.
Who's sitting in the middle of it?
How do you sit in the middle of a round table? Like on the table?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Nobody's
Or
on
if
the
it's like, or if it's like a donut table, if it's just a ring and like the middle's empty, you could just stand in the center.
The Fae all sit on one side together. Separated by their seasons.
And we'll ask, may we take our seats?
No, but you can sit down.
Flex already has kind of a feeling how this conversation is going to go and is going to sit down.
May we have your names?
No.
No.
I don't want to be rude, but I will remind you all that in your meeting of gods, I spoke my real name.
You spoke your name. You didn't give them your name, though.
I will assure you we
And also
have no
they
means
are
of
my god.
playing tricks here. I understand the reservedness in all of you coming here and speaking with entities you do not know much of. It is much the same as when I was in the meeting with all of you. Deities that we do not know and don't particularly worship, but respect all the same.
You can call me Leo.
Hello, Leo.
If it helps, you could call me Cade. I'll answer to Cade. But I'm not giving any specific words or anything specifically to anybody other than, well, no.
Does anyone else say anything?
Nah, I'm just silent. I'm not even trying.
It's such an 80 when you to play ball. Yeah. Flex will say. You can call me Flex.
To those who haven't said anything yet, Val is just going to look at it for a second. And if you recall, upon our first meeting, I at least gave you a false name so I could refer to you as someone. Or you could refer to me as someone.
And my name is Panama.
Oh shit, Panama's gonna have his name stolen now.
Why? He just said he didn't say they could have it.
Oh,
He actually
true.
specifically had said no.
True.
Flex will turn to Sasha and say, as your law cleric, would you prefer Miss White?
You can just call me George.
Hello, George.
I love how scared some of you are.
It's spooky, okay?
It's
It's a weird
amazing.
magic.
I love it. So what is the reason for your visit?
There are some concerns with the divine of Evatoria and their high priestess and priests that the hunt that is going to occur there may take unnecessary casualties, more specifically from the populace of Evatoria.
I am.
They are requesting that they can at least be informed of what it is you will be hunting and to negotiate not bringing civilians into it, or at least unwilling civilians into it.
So you mean to tell me that after this long of us standing alone and fighting a common enemy, only calling upon the hunt when we needed reinforcements, now we are to stop and let them take over?
Who is them?
I believe you already know that.
I'm asking for clarification.
Those who wish to see both Evatoria and our little corner destroyed.
Do they have a name?
None that you would understand.
Do they have titles?
We simply call them the Court of Shades.
Thank you.
Are they at all related to the gods of Evatoria? Because currently, that is who we were asked to represent.
Related in what way? Everything within Evatoria could be related to the gods. The gods could not exist without them. Without Evatoria.
Are the gods aware of this Court of Shades? And what they do?
Yes.
Well, from my understanding, this is the first, at least I have been told of this. I'm uncertain of everyone else. Please feel free to speak up.
Flux gave you that book that had to do with the shadow judges, so Panama would know at least a little bit about it.
Are they specifically referred to as the Court of Shades?
No, but court, judges, shadow, shade, dark stuff.
And loose affiliation.
Big shrug, guy.
Nothing specific.
The big shrug,
nothing,
guy.
but it wasn't like. Okay, but it was nothing like specifically said. Okay, yeah, they run things. They run things behind the curtains with the gods. Listen, it's been a while. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. No, not necessarily. The book was just full of a bunch of like stories about how the judges like took people, but or well, specific people. So
Yeah. So right. So like nothing like concrete. Like yes, this is a thing that happens.
I mean,
I think Flux has more information from their night talks with Val, but nothing like specific, but like confirmation of what Val was doing before on the hunt.
yeah, no, 100%. I just wanted to hear him say it. That's all. I just wanted one proper noun from anybody, really.
Proper noun, Evatoria.
The proper noun about the p things that we're fighting, or whatever. This amorphous threat.
Court of Shades, shadow beings. What would you like to call them?
Yeah.
Dave.
Anyway, back on topic.
No, Steve is the squirrel.
I said Dave.
Oh, I thought you said Steve.
Dave, hate that guy.
I'm gonna make an NPC called Dave now.
Yeah, he's the Shadow Chancellor.
Do it.
All right, he's created.
He's the BBEG.
Lockie's the BBEG.
Scandalous.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They're taking numbers at this point. Get in the line.
Anyway, back to the scene. So, yeah, unless anyone else knows anything specific about them. But it would seem that at least the higher echelons of each religion that worships the gods are not aware of what this overall threat is.
Of course not.
So if you could
the
help
gods
shine,
cannot speak of it.
Then
is there any way that you could shine some light on the situation? Perhaps reveal whatever it is in the shadows?
There is a group that comes from outside of Evatoria, outside of the Feywild, far beyond where we can reach. And they travel, destroying planes as they go. And we fight them off, and then they come back.
Do they have a name?
As we said, we call them the Court of Shades.
Why why is it a big secret? Why can't the gods speak about it?
I'd imagine if it's threatening their realm, they should at least tell their own priests and priestesses about something like this.
They influence as they can, but they cannot directly speak of it. By speaking of it, their for deity-ness, the ability to perform as they do, would attract the attention faster than we could stop them. So we made a deal with them to take their abilities, to speak of it.
It's not too rude for me to ask. If it was a deal, can we know what the other side of the deal was, or is that kind of a world-ending apocalypse thing? If I, if it's not too much for me to ask about that.
You are a strange one.
Get that a lot.
Are you aware that you are not made of flesh?
Yes.
Without consulting the agreement and those members who have all agreed to it, I do not feel I have the authority to just speak for all of them, to give the details of it.
All right. I thought it might be something like that, but I wanted to ask just in case, because, I mean, clearly nobody here, there, anywhere other than this other group really wants to see things destroyed, so I thought maybe it was worth an ask. But I'm not gonna press for it. Not my place. Thank you.
DM,
Yes?
at the beginning of this, when they were getting uppity about us asking for information, remind me, they specifically said about recruiting more soldiers, correct? Or something to that vein.
Who exactly said about more? Are you?
The court itself.
They said about See, I can't just go rewind and tell you exactly what they said, because I don't have this written down exactly how I phrased it. And I should for Fae things. But basically to be able to use people when they need help fighting off whatever it is was the vibe. So I can't tell you how I even started this sentence, much less two or more sentences ago.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that that was the vibe that was given off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell I am not Faye. I can't remember what I say or anybody else says.
Okay, back to the scene.
We are aware that we are aware that there are certain events happening and have happened already that, if done correctly, will stop this attack from continuing to press against Evatoria. But it does require sacrifice and it does require fighting.
Does this court have an army?
We have the hunt. And if I am not
I didn't clarify. I apologize. I did not clarify. I was referring to Court of Shades. Do they have an army that's constantly assailing?
Not constantly, but they have soldiers themselves that can become various things as needed.
Such as in, well, what some would consider important figures in the world.
Yes. There's also, they can sometimes take the place through copying or through, in a sense, cursing others to become part of them.
Have to check out.
Through blood and ash and other things, they can destroy everything.
Do you know when their next attack will be?
We never know exactly, but that's why we call the hunt again, because it is coming.
Are there signs that we can look out for that to at least tell that they're in the area?
Val will kind of raise his hand at his
Just
father
hand-
for a second.
there's-
If I may, I believe we've witnessed some of these signs already. Small tears in dimensions, as it were, like when we were brought to the lighthouse. Also, the well where I first met you all. I had feelings about the place that I recall to my hunt that I had. So I believe with the small tears we've seen ourselves, those are the singular signs we can look for. It also seems that the incidents we ran into with Mr. Leo is a perfect example of them slightly slipping through the cracks again.
Yes, the tears are one, but not just tears from us. There are tears from the other side. They are tearing through not only from their side to Evatoria. When they get to Evatoria, they are tearing through to here. Though somebody has been helping to close those from the Evatorian side.
Well, then I guess we're aligned in this end to in fighting them. So what now?
Now the gods are calling forth their own version of the hunt. Marking those who can help.
I'm gonna lean over to Flex. I don't think they specifically said that we were marking people to help, right?
I mean, specifically speaking, we're all marked.
Is there a way there can be some cooperation between sides without anybody, you know, without there being potential conflict that might ruffle proverbial or literal feathers? I know there's a lot of things said here and there about one side and the other and whatnot. I don't want to say details and potentially upset anyone. Is there a way things can be figured out so, you know, people on one side or the other feel there's fair willingness involved and there's no slighting each other or anything like that? I I don't know any major details about anything, so I'm just, asking, throwing ideas.
Do you know any dragons?
I don't know. Can they hide like people? Well, I shouldn't say it like that. Can they hide like um squishier
Humanoids?
people? That sounds bad too.
Humanoids.
That one.
I am no great expert on dragons, but I believe so.
The appropriate phrase you were looking for is, can they take a humanoid form?
This is why I am not studying to be a diplomat.
But back to the dragon topic. Why specifically dragons?
Well, wasn't that dreary story said something about the tricky fae and the dragon made the deal, stop the great evil.
There may be stories of a dragon who helped through a sacrifice to stop them.
Are you saying that we would need to sacrifice another dragon to do so again?
Saying no such thing. I just know.
Failure is in this game.
I just know that a very old, powerful dragon chose to sacrifice herself to stop it the last time it got this bad.
Is there. This might be a silly question. Is there not a possible permanent way to fix this? If this happened before and is happening again, if we don't find a way to fix it for good, it's just gonna keep happening, isn't it?
I believe
Bandages only do so much.
I believe that is why the gods are marking people.
Well, we don't really have a way to confirm that, seeing as how they can't speak about it. See our dilemma.
We could find a roundabout, vague way to ask them, so it's not like they're directly telling us things, but they can kind of imply towards an answer. There's got to be something we can do to figure things out.
Well, maybe that's what the prophecy was, but we also, that just says there will be a fight.
I believe the prophecy says it will be won.
Doesn't really give us much hint as to details on how, other than a couple things, but not really details. Guess that's kind of a prophecy thing, though, isn't it?
It also doesn't clarify necessarily who is doing the winning.
Yeah, there's that too. So we just have to make sure that it's us. Somehow. We'll find a way. We're good at finding ways through things. Should we find the one who's closing the tears? Or is that a bad idea?
It depends on who it is.
Sorry.
Do we know? Does anybody know out of character? Because I don't remember if I know or not.
Yes, I know full well out of character. I even put a comment in the chat.
Yeah, no, I know out of character as well. But I'm asking, does anyone know? Does anyone know in character?
He's asking out of character if anyone knows in character.
Oh, I thought somebody did.
Yeah, Leo.
Freaking Leo.
Oh, sorry. What do I know?
Oh my goodness.
That Kenneth is closing the tears to the Feywild.
Yeah, I told Flux that.
All right, I couldn't remember.
I'm like 90% sure I told somebody that.
It was either Flux or Catabasis.
I think it was Flux.
I'll roll with
I
it.
almost thought it was Cat, but I don't know.
Hang on, I have a way to check.
We'll be back after these messages.
Today's episode is brought to you by Clever Cabbage. Clever Cabbage. Get your D&D, get your adventuring paraphernalia here.
The Clever Cabbage, where the cost is right and the oh no, how was it? The cost is right and the comfort's right. I think that's what I was gonna say, and then I got my words jumbled up.
So I see it. I've checked the Leo and Cat archive, and there's conversation of them talking about it. I've not checked the other one yet. I need to check the other one now.
Hell yeah. Then I think it was just Cat. I don't know if I told two people.
I want to say you wanted to tell Flex, but I don't think you wanted to tell him that you went to go see Kenneth. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe not. I have a vague memory, but this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Nope. You told both of them.
Oh, I did? Hell yeah.
Okay.
Look at me
All right.
go.
All right. Well, then we'll roll with it. The Flex will look at Leo and say, isn't it Kenneth that's closing the tears?
What he told me?
Well,
Hang on.
then,
Not only that, he told everybody who has a quick message stone.
Hell yeah. Look at me go. You guys can't tell me shit.
We can tell you stuff. It just doesn't mean you'll listen.
I
right.
share all my knowledge with the group.
All right. Well, still, nevertheless, Flex is going to turn to Leo and say, "Didn't you say that Kenneth is closing the tears?"
Yes.
Well, then that's perfect. We have a target because Kenneth is also stealing people.
I feel like he's not stealing them, but he's got to be manipulating them to stay.
Well, yes,
Isn't that the person who destroyed Otana?
yes,
Yes.
he'll in heavy-handed quotation marks cured people of the plague and then took them to his island.
Oh. That complicates things.
I can bring us to him. Nalom. Oh,
I mean, unless you're ready to fight, I would highly advise against that.
why are we gonna fight? I could go talk to him. We're buddies.
I don't know if that's a good idea for Leo to go alone anywhere.
I've already talked to him alone. It's fine.
Didn't you get sick the last time that you went to go speak with him? Like he literally gave you like a version of the plague.
It was an accident.
Sure.
Leo, I don't mean to bring this up in this situation, but considering I keep finding and tearing down wanted posters, I don't think it's a good idea for you to go anywhere alone.
It's fine.
Besides, aren't all those counterfeit?
Doesn't mean people won't go for it.
Kenneth is not even like in the
By the
public
way.
eye. He was like in this weird little room.
Panama will quickly turn back to the court. I'm sorry, we were getting sidetracked with other business on Evatoria. Regarding the person closing these tears.
Do you have more questions?
Yeah, are you gonna help us, or are we gonna help you, or was this just a PA meeting?
Aren't we already helping?
I don't know. Are we?
Are you helping us?
I do. The Flex is looking frustrated. I don't know. Are we?
I think what we're trying to figure out before anybody answers that question, I think we're trying to figure out a way that kind of works out for both sides of the situation without anybody particular being, I don't know how to word this without it coming across as wrong and rude, and I don't want it to. Without anybody being compromised?
Being magically inclined into involving themselves with a situation that may or may not. More specifically, the common folk who cannot fight.
We never call anyone who cannot fight.
Semantics, they are not ones for them. They simply, from my understanding, their desire is we go by their rules and protect them how they see fit, not whether they decide to fight with us or not. They want our protection by their rules.
I asked them how we could help.
Again, without getting into the semantics of it, it's an impossible thing to discuss. A rising tide that can be blocked by the help of all, even unwilling, is still better than letting those choose who don't want to save themselves let all else fall.
I think I'm starting to see why that other guy didn't want to come to the meeting.
Well, at least we got answers. Looking at Clay.
Yeah. I just wish there could have been some sort of, diplomatic settlement so there's not.
Again, as it does not go their way immediately, it's the end of it. We simply have to discuss the fact that there has to be a last cause measure. We can agree to fight with you, and you can agree to fight with us, but what if we are not enough? What if what we do does not stop the rising tide? What if we need more people?
I'm not
Adding
saying that the effort put
civilians
in isn't.
haven't picked up a weapon wouldn't help. That'd just be that would just be bodies to clog up the drain.
In war, there's always casualties, whether it's civilians or those who are trained to fight. This is no different. I'm not saying we go and we take over all of Evatoria's mind to have them fight for us. There should be a chance for them to rise up to the occasion and decide to fight to defend what they believe in. Yes, I agree. But also, we technically don't have to help at all, and yet we do. We willingly choose to. If it comes down to it, you would prefer to see Evatoria and the Fae wiped from the map rather than have those who could still, even if you're not trained in fighting, you can still protect what you hold dear and love. All I ask
Kale's
is,
optics. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and finish first.
all I ask is you have the capacity to understand that it's not worth losing everything.
Or is it we're sacrificing everything?
I'm confused what the argument is about here. We said don't take civilians. The Fae said that they don't take civilians. Why are we arguing about this?
So we can take your soldiers.
Because
Well, I can't speak for any.
With the let me phrase it this way: you are the chosen champions of the gods, correct? And look how timid and scared you are in the front of the Fae. You think any even soldier, trained military person in Evatoria would be like, yes, I'm willing to help the Fae, based on the stories that you spread across your world? No.
And maybe give people a reason to not believe those stories.
Idealistic view at best in the short amount of time we have. We cannot change a civilization in months. It is not a matter of what we want. We do not wish to go to Evatoria, take the fighters that we need in the way that we do, but it is a necessity. And I'm not saying we need to do that now. I'm saying you cannot close your mind to what needs to be done in the moment where it needs to be done.
Kale's eyes flash red for a moment. I am wildly aware of things that need to be done when they need to be done, whether or not a person is inclined to do it. My problem is the situation where people aren't given a proper full-on choice. And yes, some people would say no. The problem comes from forcing it on them. Yes, people need to fight. Yes, this is a bad situation. Yes, people will die on all sides. But forcing people who are scared instead of trying to give them something to hold on to bolster them. I know different people have different ways they do things, but people will fight if they have hope. I was built to give people hope, and so I keep trying to do that. I can't just. It is against my programming and my personality to just watch somebody have their free will taken if there's not hope being encouraged first. People will do anything if they have hope, even if it's the end. That's what I'm saying.
Not to mention, if all the soldiers get taken, who's to guard what's left? That's why if we knew precisely what we were fighting, there could be some countermeasure against it to at least, I want to say, protect who we can, but stop it before it happens.
You speak of countermeasures, you speak of hope. That is what you are. We are not here to be the countermeasures and the hope. We are here to be fighting them. It is up to you. This is why each of you have been chosen. You are obviously capable of doing things that we are not.
Just
If
because
that is the
someone was
case,
chosen.
then why can't anyone give us a straight answer of what exactly we're fighting? I've been stuck in one prophecy before that was incredibly vague. I did not enjoy every single minute of it. I am now getting stuck in a different prophecy, and Izzy left the chat.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Are we back?
Am I back? Sorry.
Yeah, you seem to be.
My Discord decided that it didn't want to listen to Panama telling me about vague prophecies.
Oof.
Anyway, back to my brew. Anyway, yes, I was already part of one prophecy. I did not enjoy it because it said nothing and put me against the end of a world. And now I am being shunted into another one. We cannot help properly unless we know what we're fighting. The gods are bound by whatever deal you made to not discuss what it is. From what you've said, it does not seem like you are bound by such rules. We are offering to help, but we need to know exactly what we're fighting. If that cannot be, or if we cannot come to an agreement on that, then I suppose we will just have to continue on in the dark, continuing whatever deal you did with the gods.
You speak of wanting clarity, of wanting the vagueness to end. This is not a game of chess. I cannot say there is our knight, there is our rook. I can say these are what we have, which is the hunt, the marks, the need for the sacrifice. And it is not something to be sacrificed, it is a willing sacrifice. I could not go up to you and slit your throat and say, there, I have sacrificed you. As much as it may be tempting. So tell me, how can I give you clarity? You can speak, sorry.
This court of shadows, what are they? How many are there?
It seems they are endless. We do not know how many there are. There seems to be 3 main leaders. That is all I can tell you with that. But they seem to never end. And as what they are beings from another plane that we have never seen. They have come to other worlds and destroyed their gods and destroyed their worlds.
Yeah, Animal's gonna look to everyone else to see if they have any other questions or comments or concerns.
So basically, everybody's flying blind, and there's not much we can really do about it.
We could tell you how they fight.
That would be helpful. Please.
The ones we fight will come in a few various forms. One of pure shadow. When we fight those, many fall. Magical light is the only thing that seems to do anything to push them back, and it simply pushes them back. They're the form that creates a mirror or a reflection of somebody else that they have encountered. Those are the easiest. They're usually more powerful than the being that they are mirroring. But they do die. And the third form, and these are just the three most common forms, is one of fire and ash. And it burns without fuel, without source, and it does not stop until it encounters the destruction that it wants, the fear, and the best way to fight that is to have no fear.
Do these fiery ones disappear when they encounter something fearless?
It seems to weaken it and make it more make it so it is easier to use spells against it.
So fearlessness weakens it. Magic hurts it. Do they explode? Just, I'm trying to avoid collateral.
those ones turned more to ash.
Oh, okay. It's a relief. Now there's no fear of exploding fiery death. So just to recap to make sure I've got it. There's the ones of pure shadow that are driven back by magical light but can't really seem like they can be killed. There's the ones that become powerful copies of people but they can outright be killed. And there's the fiery ash monstrosities that will go until they encounter something fearless and then you blast them with magic. Right?
Correct.
Okay. Had to make sure I had that one. Do they tend to employ the generals and things, or is it more of just an angry horde?
On the larger battles, it seems to just be a horde of anger and rage. But when they're individuals or in small groups is when you should worry.
So the small groups are the scary part. Well, it's all a dangerous thing, obviously, but interesting. Which would imply that part of the tactic would be go in with smaller strike forces and weaken things, and then just wash out the rest in a fiery spray of destruction once everything is in disarray. Right?
I think it may be a little bit more complicated than that.
Well, I'm going for, the basics. Obviously, it's going to be more complicated, but if we have the basics, it's easier to work with the more complex, right? Everything has a blueprint.
I think you're doing great.
Is there anything else that need to be discussed?
I got nothing. They answered my questions.
Looking around, anyone? Well, I think that's a no. Then that Panama will stand up and say, well, thank you for meeting with us and having this discussion. But I believe we'll be taking our leave now.
Thank you for the help.
Do you need an escort back?
Yeah, that'd be great if you could.
He nods to the person who's sitting beside Vel. It's the one in the tree in the images. And they stand up. Are you guys going to follow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Kalei will follow, but he's doing what he did beforehand, is making sure everybody's in the bubble first, or like fully in the bubble. He doesn't want. He's basically just doing a perimeter check as best he can,
Mhm.
being a little bit of a mother hen.
So then you guys slowly make your way back to the moon gate. Does anybody say anything along the ride? Or walk, I should say?
Not unless spoken to.
I still think this place is fascinating.
Perhaps one day you shall return.
It'd be cool. Does the crystal thing only happen on our side, or is that like a? Does that happen to all of us here?
Val, would you like to answer that question?
No, Vel is being very quiet and walking next to a tree lady.
I mean, Flux was asking Tree Lady, but
There's some things that happen, but it's handled.
is it the druid on the other side seems to be not handled?
Leo, can I get a perception check?
Oh no. Leo, if
With-
you're about to do something that's gonna get us killed,
With a 16, you don't see anything easily taken. If you really want to try, it will be a roll to try and sleight of hand something. I mean, you could pick a blade of grass. If it's just you want something
wouldn't.
from the Feywild.
Could always ask for a memento.
Yes, you could ask.
because that's not scary and potentially dangerous.
Well, how they handle the gates on that side, I do not know. I cannot answer for that.
Oh, do you guys not talk?
I am not a gatekeeper. I do not know.
Oh, is there a gatekeeper on this side?
Yes? We wouldn't want a gate just there for anyone to walk through.
I don't know. I walked through and saw you guys.
That is because we knew you were coming.
Well, yeah, the druids were also standing there waiting for us. So, I mean,
I do not know how they work. Maybe they were guarding it. Why are you made of metal?
As I was built, there was a plague that hit Evatoria really badly, but one way the people there could try to work against it was build uh, automatons such as myself who cannot catch the plague or spread it. So we were used as medics and healers as best we could, and some of us became sentient, and I'm one of them.
I'm sorry. Kalei gets the feeling they're apologizing for Kalei having sentience.
Mind it. It's a learning experience, but that's part of life, isn't it? Learning, experiencing. It's been rough sometimes, but I don't regret it. I like being able to explore and see and think. It makes me who I am. Makes all of us who we are.
So then they lead you to the moon gate.
Is there a guard?
Not
Oh, no.
standing like right at the gate, but you do see somebody nearby.
I'm sorry, party people. I'm sorry. I know we want to get back. Flex is gonna flag that guy down, or whoever it is, that person down.
Stay in the bubble.
Yeah, I stay in the bubble. That's why I'm flagging him down.
Hold on.
Hold up.
Okay. They walk over.
Hey, I just had a quick question for you.
What is your question?
Do you ever communicate with the people on the other side, the druids?
Why do you want to know?
Well, what is it? I gesture towards the tree lady has informed me that what is it? If people from our side get a little bit of the crystal or other type of maladies that come from being around here, that it gets sorted. There's a druid on the other side, has a bit of the crystal. Is there any way we can fix that?
Do they want to come over here?
I don't know.
We
They
cannot
didn't seem-
fix it over there.
Okay, well, I will pass the word, I guess. That was it. We can go home now. Sorry.
Do you guys walk through the gate?
Val's standing there, holding Tree Girl's hand, and they're just gonna be. I believe I can catch up with you all later.
Yourself.
Visit.
So everyone but Val walks through the moon gate.
I think so.
Yep.
And that's where we will end session then.
Amazing.
So if Lockie could end stream, I would appreciate that.